Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever been in bed with a man? Things are heating up and you catch that look in his eyes, that flicker that says something more is running through his mind. You feel it. You know there's a deeper craving there. But here's the thing, most men will never come out and tell you exactly what it is. Why? Because they're scared. Scared you'll judge them. Scared you'll think it's too much or that it'll somehow ruin the intimacy. So instead they hold back. They play it safe. And that's why so many women never truly unlock that wild, unfiltered side of a man that he secretly wishes he could share. But here's the truth. When you do become the woman who taps into that side of him, you instantly separate yourself from every other woman he's ever been with. You stop being just another partner and you become unforgettable. You become the woman who makes him think, damn, no one else makes me feel this way. And it's not about being aggressive for the sake of it. It's about creating passion, intensity, and trust that says, I'm not afraid of your wild side and I'm not afraid to show you mine. That's the magic combination that turns intimacy from good into mind-blowing. So today, I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm going to share with you 5 rough sex moves men secretly crave in bed. These are the things he might never say out loud, but if you bring them into the bedroom, he will never forget you for it. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Let's start with something simple but incredibly powerful, your grip. Now, I know what you might be thinking, really? Just touching him differently is going to change everything. And my answer is absolutely. Because here's the secret: men are highly tuned in to how wanted they feel. They may not say it out loud, but they're constantly searching for those subtle signs that tell them, she desires me as much as I desire her. And one of the strongest ways you can communicate that in bed is through the intensity of your touch. Think about the difference between lightly resting your hand on someone's chest versus gripping his chest, his shoulders, or even his hair with purpose. The first one says, I'm here. The second one says, I want you. I can't hold back. That firm grip sends a psychological message that is way bigger than the physical act itself. It tells him, you're mine in this moment. I'm not just passively here. I'm actively claiming you. And let me tell you, men absolutely crave that feeling. They crave being with a woman who isn't afraid to show her hunger for him. Let me paint the picture for you. Imagine you're kissing him. Things are heating up. And instead of keeping your hands politely on his arms, you suddenly dig your nails into his back or grab the back of his neck and pull him closer. That one move flips a switch inside him. It tells his body, his brain, and his ego that you're fully invested in this moment. See, here's the thing most women don't realize. Men carry a lot of pressure to be the pursuer, to always be the one driving the passion forward. And yes, sometimes they love that role. But what electrifies them is when the woman flips that script, when you show him that you're not just there to receive his energy, but to match it with your own intensity. A firm grip does that without you having to say a word. It's primal, it's instinctive, and it wakes up something in him that's been dormant. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go full on wrestler mode. This isn't about hurting him. It's about the balance of pressure. It's the surprise of you being just a little rougher than expected. It's that grip on his wrist that holds him still for a second. It's that hand on his chest that pushes him back against the wall with playful force. It's that tug on his hair that makes him feel like you want to devour him right there. Men live for that moment because it breaks the monotony of routine sex. It tells them she's confident, she's passionate, she's not afraid to let go, and that's insanely attractive. And here's a little insider secret. He will replay that moment in his head long after the night is over. He'll remember the feeling of your nails in his back, the way your fingers gripped his hair, or the pressure of your hand pinning him down. Those physical sensations leave a mental imprint that sticks. So if you want to give him that thrill, don't be shy about using your hands with intention. Grip him, claim him, show him that you're not just in this with him, you're all in. Trust me, ladies, when you master the art of the firm grip, you'll never again have to wonder if he's thinking about you the next day. Because he will. Let's talk about one of the oldest, most primal desires that men have being marked. Now, I don't mean marked in a permanent way. I mean those little scratches, those playful bites, those faint traces left behind after a night of passion. Because here's the truth men absolutely love when you unleash that side of yourself that can't help but grab claw and nibble at him as if you just can't get enough. Why is this so powerful? Because it shows raw desire. It says, You don't just turn me on, you bring out a side I can't control. And that, ladies, is intoxicating for a man. Think about it. Most of the time, men live in a very controlled world. They go to work, handle responsibilities, carry themselves with confidence. But in the bedroom, what drives them wild is seeing a woman lose control for him. When you scratch his back, tug at his shoulders, or bite his neck while you're caught up in the moment, it sends him a message he will never forget. I affect her so much she can't hold back. And here's the secret. Those little marks become trophies in his mind. When he sees them in the mirror the next morning, he doesn't think, oh, she hurt me. He thinks, wow, she wanted me so bad she left her mark. It's like walking around with a reminder that you were completely into him, and men secretly love carrying that memory. Now, the key here is balance. You don't want to go full vampire mode and scare him off, but a playful bite on his lip during a kiss, a light graze of your teeth along his shoulder, or running your nails down his back while you pull him closer. That's the perfect combination of pleasure and pain that makes his body shiver. Here's why this works psychologically. Scratching and biting taps into a man's primal instincts. It mimics the raw energy of passion that's untamed. It bypasses all the polite, socially conditioned ways we usually express affection and goes straight to animalistic desire. That's why it feels so addictive. It's not just about the sensation, it's about what it represents: wildness, hunger, passion without filter. And let's be real, he's not just enjoying the feeling. He's enjoying the idea that you enjoy it, that you wanted him so much you had to grab tighter, dig your nails in deeper, and bite just a little harder. That expression of intensity feeds his ego, his desire, and his attraction to you all at once. Now, let me give you a practical example. Picture this: you're kissing him. It's soft, it's slow, and then out of nowhere, you nip at his lower lip and tug. You don't say a word, you just smirk like, yeah, I meant to do that. You will literally see his eyes change in that moment. It flips a switch. Suddenly, he's not just kissing you back, he's hungry for you. Or imagine being on top of him, and in the heat of the moment, your nails trail down his chest. That shock of sensation makes him gasp, and he'll feel like he's losing control in the best way. So here's my advice: don't hold back those little instincts. If you feel the urge to bite, scratch, or dig your nails into it, he craves that. He fantasizes about that. It's not just about the touch. It's about showing him that your desire for him is so intense. It has to leave a mark. And trust me, ladies, once you tap into the bite and scratch fantasy, he'll never forget the way you made him feel. Now let's talk about something men secretly crave but don't always admit when you take control of their mouth. Kissing, for most people, is where intimacy begins. It's soft, it's gentle, it's where you first test the chemistry. But here's the twist: men don't just want tender kisses. They crave the shock, the fire, the rawness of a woman who suddenly takes over. And trust me, when you grab his face, pull him in, and kiss him hard, it ignites something in him that polite kisses never will. Here's why. Most men are used to leading the charge in intimacy. They're used to being the one to lean in first, the one to intensify the kiss, the one to drive the passion forward. But when you flip that script, when you slam the accelerator before he even knows what's happening, you completely short-circuit his brain. He goes from "I'm in control" to "she wants me so badly she couldn't wait another second." That realization is thrilling for him. Imagine this: you're sitting across from him, maybe laughing at something he said, and then without warning, you reach across, grab his jaw, and kiss him like you can't resist anymore. That move tells him a story without words. It says, "You're irresistible to me." And men live for that kind of validation. But it's not just about the kiss itself. It's about how you do it: grabbing his face firmly with both hands, tugging on his bottom lip with your teeth, pushing him back against the wall mid-kiss, even covering his mouth for a second with yours like you're claiming it. These are bold, dominating gestures, and men secretly crave them because they flip the usual roles. And here's the deeper layer men love when a woman takes their mouth, because it signals confidence. It says, "I know what I want, and I'm not afraid to go after it." That confidence is magnetic, it's intoxicating. It makes him feel like he's with a woman who knows her power and isn't afraid to use it. Think about it like this: a soft kiss is sweet, but a rough, hungry kiss is unforgettable. Why? Because it's not rehearsed, it's not delicate, it's raw. It taps into his primal instincts and tells his body, this is not a casual moment, this is urgent, this is fire. And don't underestimate the effect of surprise. If you're usually gentle and suddenly, in the middle of things. You grab his hair, tilt his head back, and kiss him hard. He won't forget that moment. That shock factor is what burns the memory into his brain. Here's another secret: when you take over his mouth, you're not just kissing him, you're leading the experience. You're setting the tone, the rhythm, the intensity. And men secretly love surrendering to that. It gives them permission to let go, to stop overthinking, and to just feel. Now, you might be thinking, but won't he think it's too aggressive? The truth, if he's attracted to you, he'll see it as the sexiest thing you could do. The key is reading the moment. If the chemistry is already there, if the passion is already building, that sudden rough kiss won't scare him. It'll excite him beyond words. So here's my advice: stop waiting for him to always be the one to escalate the kiss. Take control sometimes. Surprise him, make him feel wanted in the way only a bold, confident woman can. Because, ladies, here's the truth: men might not always say it, but they crave being kissed like they're the last man on earth. And when you're the one who makes him feel that way, you'll leave him addicted to your touch. All right, let's talk about something that might surprise you, because while most people assume men always want to be the dominant one in bed, there's a secret craving that many won't admit men love: being pinned down. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, aren't men the ones who usually take control? And yes, most of the time they are. They're expected to lead, to initiate, to be the one who drives the energy forward. But here's the thing: that role can be exhausting. Sometimes what men secretly crave is the chance to let go, to surrender control, and they find it unbelievably sexy when a woman has the confidence to take the lead. Picture this: you're making out on the couch, he's leaning into you, and then suddenly you flip the script. You push him back, straddle him, and hold his wrists above his head. That one bold move communicates more than words ever could. It says, "You're not in charge right now, I am." And ladies, let me tell you, that moment will send a shock through his body, because for a man, being pinned down doesn't feel like weakness. It feels like freedom. It gives him permission to stop performing, stop controlling, and just experience the pleasure you're giving him. It's liberating, and it tells him something else that's equally powerful. You want him so much that you can't hold yourself back. You're willing to take control because you need him right now. And this isn't just about physically restraining him. It's about the psychological thrill of role reversal, holding his wrists, pinning his arms to the bed, pushing him back against the wall with your body. These gestures say, "I'm claiming you. You're mine." And that's a turn on men rarely get to feel. Now, here's the deeper reason why this works. In everyday life, men are used to being in positions of control. They make decisions, they lead, they carry responsibility. But intimacy is the one place where they crave the freedom to be vulnerable, to let someone else take over. And when you pin him down, even playfully, you're giving him that escape. You're saying, for once, you don't have to be in charge, just let go. And trust me, he will never forget how that feels. Here's a little tip: the element of surprise makes this 10 times hotter. If he's expecting things to go the usual way and you suddenly grab his hands, push them above his head, and lean in with it, that look in your eyes, he won't know what hit him. Unpredictability sparks adrenaline, and adrenaline fuels desire. And don't underestimate the confidence this shows. Men are deeply attracted to women who know how to own their sexuality. When you pin him down, you're showing him you're not afraid of passion, not afraid of intensity, and not afraid to take what you want. That kind of boldness makes you unforgettable. Now, some women worry, what if he doesn't like it? Let me tell you, if he's into you, he'll love it. You're not overpowering him, you're surprising him. And most men are secretly waiting for that surprise. So here's my challenge for you: next time you're in the moment, take a risk, push him back, pin his wrists, hold him down with playful force, watch his reaction. I guarantee you'll see that mix of shock, arousal, and admiration in his eyes. Because ladies, men may act like they always want control, but when you take it from them in bed, that's when they realize just how much they've been craving it all along. All right, ladies, let's dive into the last secret on this list, one that many women underestimate, but men secretly crave more than they'll admit: rough talk. Now, before your mind jumps too far ahead, let me explain. Men love compliments. They love being told they're sexy. They love hearing how much you want them. But what takes things to an entirely different level is when your words in the bedroom get raw, direct, and just a little bit rough. Why? because words are powerful triggers. They don't just touch his body, they touch his mind. And here's the truth for men, arousal is just as much mental as it is physical. The right phrase, whispered in his ear in the right moment, can flip a switch in him that no physical move alone could achieve. Imagine this. You're already in the heat of the moment, you're kissing, he's fully into it, and then you lean in close and whisper exactly what you want him to do to you. Not sweet, not vague, direct. You tell him with no hesitation what you're craving from him right now. Instantly, he's electrified. His brain goes into overdrive because he realizes you're not shy, you're not holding back, you're fully in the moment with him. And it doesn't stop there. Rough talk can also be about teasing him, daring him, saying things like, "Is that all you've got?" Or "You'd better keep up with me tonight." That kind of playful challenge flips on his competitive, masculine energy and makes him want to rise to the occasion. He's no longer just making love. He's on fire to prove himself to you. Here's why this works psychologically. Most men spend their entire lives being careful with their words, at work, in public, even in relationships. They're measured, they're filtered, they're controlled. But in bed, they don't want control. They want freedom. They want wildness. And when you unleash rough talk, it tells him, this is a safe space for us to be raw, dirty, and unfiltered. That's intoxicating. Now, here's the best part. Rough talk doesn't have to be long speeches. In fact, sometimes just one or two words are more powerful than an entire sentence. A whispered, "Don't stop," a commanding, "Harder," a playful, "You're mine." These short bursts hit his brain like lightning because they're so unexpected and so filled with intensity. And don't underestimate the shock factor. If you're usually sweet, gentle, maybe even a little reserved, and then suddenly in the middle of things, you whisper something raw into his ear, he will never see it coming. That surprise jolts his body with adrenaline and makes the moment unforgettable. Let me give you an example. Picture this, you're straddling him, kissing him, everything's already hot. Then you lean down, put your lips close to his ear, and in a low voice, you tell him exactly what you're going to do to him next. Or even better, exactly what you want him to do to you. That's the moment where his entire body locks into yours. Because now it's not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and primal all at once. So here's my advice. Don't be afraid to experiment with your words. Start small if it feels awkward. A whisper here, a tease there. Then build into more daring phrases as your confidence grows. Because once you see how he reacts, you'll realize just how much power your words have over him. Ladies, men may never say it out loud, but trust me, they crave rough talk. They crave hearing the unfiltered, passionate side of you. And when you give it to them, you'll unlock a level of intimacy that keeps them addicted to you, body, mind, and soul. So ladies, let's bring this all together. We've just gone through 5 rough sex moves men secretly crave in bed: the firm grip, the bite and scratch, taking control of his mouth, pinning him down, and the shock of rough talk. And here's what I want you to take away. None of these are about being violent or losing control. They're about intensity. They're about passion. And most importantly, they're about showing him that you're not afraid to unleash the full, unfiltered side of your desire. Because here's the truth, men don't just want a partner in bed, they want an experience. They crave those moments that feel so raw, so wild, and so unforgettable that they replay them again and again in their mind. And when you bring even one of these moves into the bedroom, you're giving him exactly that. Think about it. The firm grip tells him you're claiming him. The bite and scratch leave him with proof of your hunger. Taking control of his mouth shocks him into surrendering to your passion. Pinning him down flips the script and gives him the freedom to let go. And rough talk, that burns into his memory like nothing else, because it's your confidence in words that sets him on fire. Now, will every man admit to craving these things? Probably not. Most won't dare to say it. But watch his reaction when you surprise him with one of these. You'll see it in his eyes, the way they widen, the way his body tenses, the way he pulls you closer. That's when you'll know you've unlocked a side of him that very few women ever touch. And here's the best part. When you do this, it's not just about satisfying him. It's about empowering you. It's about owning your sexuality, stepping into your confidence and saying, I'm not afraid to be bold. I'm not afraid to be wild, and I'm not afraid to show you exactly how much I want you. That energy makes you magnetic, both in and out of the bedroom. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one of these 5 moves and try it. Surprise him. Watch his reaction. then come back here and tell me in the comments what happened, because I promise you, you're going to see a different fire in his eyes. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with a friend who deserves to know these secrets. And remember, when you stop holding back, when you embrace both your softness and your wildness, that's when you become the woman he can't stop thinking about. Until next time, stay bold, stay confident, and never be afraid to unleash your fire.